BOSGAME U56 Mini PC Review. The U56 runs on a dual-layered design with the user part below and the cooling system above. Engineers appreciate the orderly manner in which heat is naturally allowed to rise to a point at which it can be extracted from PCs. The outer surfaces of the structure are crafted from fine mesh metal, allowing for an easy flow of air. You can mount the machine to the back of a monitor with the included small mounting plate, plus use some of the short HDMI cables that come in the box. On the bottom of the system, loosening 4 screws will show you BOSGAME's component choices of an NVMe slot and DDR4 memory. Both good and bad selections were observed during this reveal. Kingston RAM made a good impression. Unfortunately, the Intel 660p SSD did not meet expectations. The customer can replace the drive, but then they will need to clone or install Windows on a new drive. This system has just one NVMe drive, unlike the Magic and AMR5, which offers both SATA and NVMe drives. We're not sure what to think of this option, since it makes it easy to use the U56 as a media server, but with a storage capacity of up to 5 TB, the performance is not as good as an NVMe drive. Choosing a SATA port has the benefit of freeing up plenty of bandwidth, allowing for 3 10GB USB ports on this device, and giving more options for expansion. Combining M.2 and SATA makes upgrading the NVMe drive a bit tricky, but it's still a better option due to constraints with the PCI lanes of the system. We're worried that BOSGAME used special connectors to combine SATA and power into one cable. If this cable gets lost or damaged, it can be difficult to find a replacement. Ryzen 5 series processors from AMD are great performers, but their Radeon Vega GPU can't compare with Intel's new Iris C and ARC graphics. Recently, the AMD Ryzen Mini PC U56 was released, which features the powerful Ryzen 5 5600U processor. Its capabilities exceed those of mobile Intel Core i5 designs, as well as traditional Intel N5095/5105 and N6211 chips. This 6-core, 12-thread CPU has a base speed of 2.3 GHz and reaches an impressive 4.2 GHz when turbocharged, explaining its remarkable performance. The Intel Core i7-1195G7 performs better, but it's much pricier and rarely found on budget machines under $600. A downside of this solution is that AMD didn't enhance the integrated GPU to correspond with the increased performance of the Zen 3 architecture processor, creating an asymmetry. The U56 possesses 16 GB of RAM and has adequate performance for office applications, allowing it to seamlessly juggle tasks between the foreground and background. Replacing the Intel 660p NVMe drive with a higher performing one would drastically increase read and write speeds, potentially up to 3 times faster for write speeds. The USB features of this machine are good, but it would have been economical to include an SD card slot too. Sadly, the U56 does not include this great capability for editing images and videos, even though it's perfect for the job. To add this feature, you would need to spend extra money on a USB port. The benchmark scores show that the Intel Iris C has better computing performance than the Vega GPU. As an example, the Beelink C11 Pro, powered by the Core i5-11320H and Iris C GPU, received a wildlife test score of over 11,000. Meanwhile, Ryzen and Vega's combination only got 6,000. This is mainly due to the Iris C's quicker rendering speeds. A weakness in GPU power is evident in many of the benchmarks. Despite the boosted processor performance, the U56 might be overkill for ordinary office tasks. In addition to what we have already mentioned, the Intel 660p does not have impressive read or write speeds. Given that it is an NVMe drive connected via PCI, there are even external USB-connected SSDs that can provide faster write speed than this. Swapping out that part could likely tackle some of the performance issues seen between this system and the Magician AMR5. If BOSGAME had included a higher quality NVMe drive in the U56, it would be almost perfect for tasks like office work and general use. However, it is not suitable for gaming. Nonetheless, it is powerful enough to let you repurpose it into becoming a media server, firewall, or other use. Other than the lack of global availability, which is currently limited to the USA, BOSGAME's NUC has a few weaknesses.